was one of Blonde's favourites, and she loved pink, and that was one of the reasons we picked it. But also it had a very funny line in it about a nurse, and if you haven't heard it just there, you should probably listen to it again. Well, hello everybody, my name is Ailbhe Foley. I did the slideshow. I am 12 years old and I'm from Sligo, and I am Blonde's sister. That's meant to say when bone cancer came to town. This is Ailbhe Foley's story. When bone cancer came to town, it came for her. She was snatched from us, and I'm here to tell you what it felt like for me and how I saw this happen. I understand now that my mother can tell you how vital Blonde was to us. You never really understand what you had down to the core until it's taken. Let's go. There. And Blonde was really very caring. She let me stay in her room when I was too old for Mum and Dad, and she loved to help me dress for the day. She and Circa were the only two there when I took my first steps. One of the earliest times I remember of her was sitting at the table drawing, and while she drew, I would pester her into letting me have a go. One of the many examples of how she loved to make things, capture things, see the world through her eyes. I'm not going to go through the speech complimenting my sister. She had a devious side to her, and one time in particular, I remember her steal my doll and put lipstick on it to look like blood for a video. Times like these, the simplest times, the most annoying of times, can be the things you remember forever. They never leave you. It seems though these good times were not to last. This is when Blonde started to go to hospital. I remember an awful lot about visiting Crumlin. Oh, sorry, I skipped a paragraph. I have to say I don't remember everything. You must forgive me and try to keep up with my muddled thoughts. The last normal day for our family was Sunday, 24th of April, 2005. That day, as for most of Sundays of my life, my grandparents came to Sunday dinner. Blonde set the table and I helped her. The next day I woke up to discover Blonde's bed empty. I didn't see her for 4 days. As you could imagine, I was very attached to Blonde, and her gone for any length of time was strange and sad. This is when Blonde started to go to hospital. I remember an awful lot about visiting Crumlin Hospital in Dublin. I played with the children cancer patients and had a lot of fun, considering the circumstances. Blonde went through some hard times with her chemotherapy. And I don't know how I would deal with losing my hair, and it must have been very hard for her because I was the same age. And she used to put on bandanas to cover up her hair being gone. We also went to a resort called Barrettstown, where I met a lot of children and also learned how to make a chocolate rat. Again, many good things happened from the bad. I never regret anybody I met from those times, because they were going through the same things as my sister, and I'm glad I ever got to make them happier or spend time with them. In a way, when Blonde died, it's like history. It's like World War II. You know what happened, the horror of the murder, but you can't quite believe it. Blonde lost her battle with Ewing sarcoma 16th of September 2006. My mother says one of the hardest things she's ever had to do was tell me that what happened to her when she died. I remember that day with perfect clarity, and those are the days that I will never forget forever. In some ways, we all got bone cancer in our house. My family and my life will never be the same. This is another reason I can't remember those days. They are tear-stained, and I was a different person then. If I saw myself now, I wouldn't know myself. I hope speaking here makes a difference to all these brothers and sisters. Thank you so much, BCRT. You are the light at the end of the dark corridor of bone cancer. You don't know what you've given me and my family. Thank you so much.
happy constellation. If you were able to look down now, I think you'd see everybody else in the same condition. And she's, as you can see, receiving some excellent BCRT support. I was unprepared for that. I didn't write any of it, I didn't take part in any of it, and I couldn't actually bring myself to be sort of the audience value to practice with, so she's done that all on her own. Thank you, Dom. It's my pleasure now to introduce another hero. Mark, when I came to my first conference, it was the first conference, Mark was the motivational speaker, and wow, what a way to end the day. I told him already, I mean, what can I say? Back to John Daly and the song, there's another hero, Mark Woods.